Number one, I really want to get into the Scott Horton interview on Piers Morgan. I wasn't planning on it. It just, the Samson option that he discussed is a real thing. When you hear all these goddamn warhawk boomer neocons just perpetually, endlessly calling for fucking every single war they could possibly call while not ever fighting in it themselves, it's just like, you know what? Let's break down some of this, some of these accusations when it comes to what an actual nuclear Iran looks like and what that means for the region, what that means for Israel, what that means for the world, America, what that, not the bullshit that we keep hearing spewed all over the media about how Iran just can't have a nuke and like all this other stuff, or else it's going to blow Israel off the face of the earth and the UAE off the face of the earth and all the military bases off the face of the earth because they have a nuclear weapon now and they're just going to commit suicide and do it. Right. And so it was like, let's really take a look at that for a minute. And then Joel's going to get into some tick stuff briefly and kind of tease us on what we're going to be focusing on some of our future podcasts when we're talking about like disease, bioweapons, drugs, what the American government's willing to do to their own people experimentally, primarily usually to try to weaponize something else at the expense of Americans. And then we're going to get into one of the last segments of the UAP UFO single point energy, plasma energy, disclosure, dead scientists all over the fucking place story. That's still really, really interesting, except we're going international. So we're taking it from America to, we're shotgunning this, and we're going to explore what it looks like in Brazil and France and Japan and some of these other countries that it's a worldwide phenomenon. Like this shit just is exclusively, it's not like just Americans see these things. I mean, this is global for sure. So there's a lot of different governments all over the world that are freaking involved in this in one way or the other. It's not just the United States as much as we like to think it is. Just like how, you know, we like to think that American media is somehow the only media out there. Come to find out, it's some of the worst media you could possibly investigate for real outcomes, geopolitically and nationally. So, with that being said, the U.S. national average for regular gasoline is approximately $4.53 per gallon, while diesel is averaging roughly $5.65 a gallon. A barrel of Brent crude oil is at $101.80, a little higher than last time we talked. And with that being said, Scott Horton, who's kind of the director of the Libertarian Institute, very smart, super smart dude, wrote a book called Enough about terrorism and 9/11 and the destruction of our civil rights and like what all that stuff meant. I highly recommend the book. Go out there and freaking read it. You will be educated on it, I promise. No matter how educated you are on the topic, it's just an incredible amount. It's almost too much information. Like it's really difficult to retain as much information as actually is in that book. And so it's like, you know, when you hear all these Scott Jennings on CNN and Mark Levin and like a lot of these Laura Loomers and, you know, a lot of these super conservative pundits, Bill O'Reilly is still out there doing this. You got Bill O'Reilly's still out there doing this shit. He thinks really highly of himself, that guy. Jesus Christ. He was on Piers Morgan the other day and I was like, I couldn't even stand listening. I mean, he thinks so highly of his opinions.
And it's the typical boomer conservative talking points they've had for the same fucking last
Same
30
20, 30
years
year
when it
talking
comes to the
points.
Middle East. Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing's changed. We need to war all the time, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But what do they always say? It always comes down to what we forget about the fact that let's just forget about the fact that North Korea has nuclear weapons, China has nuclear weapons, Pakistan, India, Russia, like all these countries have nuclear weapons that are kind of
And
Axis countries. Go ahead.
and Israel has nuclear weapons and possibly one of the biggest stockpiles of any country, especially the country of its size, 80 to 400.
I'm going to bring that up in this little deal here. American mainstream media is like constantly states that Iran can't have nukes or else they'd blow Israel off the face of the earth. That's what you hear on every single freaking mainstream media talking head. And it's on the liberal side too. It's on the left too.